welcome to scr1tno knitting project. My name is Sharon. I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog. This is episode 84 and today is Friday the 26th of February 2021. Welcome if you're a new viewer, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here and listening to me ramble on about my knitting. This is the knitting project is about how I get through my whips, and this episode actually shows how well that actually does work. So I have a 6-day rolling rotation of whips, which will become apparent as we go through the episode. But if you watched last week's episode, which if you haven't, I suggest you go back and watch that before you watch this one. So you'll get a real idea of what the knitting project's about. So basically I rotate my whips so that I work on a little bit each day, but it's a different whip each day. A, that gives me variety. B, it gives my hands a rest from different size needles because I have arthritis in my hands. Not bad, but I mean they're stiff this morning. Hold that thought. That's what happens when your daughter FaceTimes you in the middle of recording. So Excel query sorted. I was saying it helps my hands because I'm using different size needles and crocheting and I'm not just concentrating on one thing. And C, it actually does make progress on the whips, which you will see today. There is definite progress on my whips, which is really good and I'm really happy about that. Let's go into the first section, which is admin. So my first section is admin. The podcast does have a Ravelry group if you can use Ravelry. I'm scr1tno on Instagram, and I haven't got a separate account for the podcast, so you just get everything that's me on there. And if you can't use either of those two places, you can email me. I am going to look into doing Mighty Networks, haven't sorted it yet. We have 2 knit-alongs going on. We have the Square a Day Cowl, which the first check-in for that is coming up. It's at the end of next month, which is March, which starts on Monday for me because it's Friday, or tomorrow for you because it's Sunday. So that's exciting. So then we're heading on to our first check-in. We've got lovely prices for that. So that is the 31st of March, and you should have 90 squares, 90 somethings, shall we say, by the end of March. So if you're quilting, if you're crocheting, if you're knitting, whatever you're doing, you should have 90 of them by the end of March. So that's the Square a Day. There is a hashtag for that. Hopefully I've put it along the bottom here, and again you can check in with that on Instagram and on Ravelry. Maybe not Mighty Networks if I've got it sorted by then, but I will sort out the highlight for that on Instagram nearer the time. I will also open the finished object thread, or not finished object, the check-in thread, a little bit more towards the end of March. So, stripy sock cowl. I'm loving seeing all your stripy socks. We've got so many pairs that are nearly finished or are finished. Now, the way you do your entries for that is on Ravelry. There is an FO thread. If you use the dyer of the month or the commercial yarn of the month, which is Woolly Goodness Yarns, my lovely friend Jenny, and Opal Yarns, you get 2 entries. So please do enter them in the finished object thread on Ravelry. If you can't use Ravelry, there is a hashtag, which is the scr1tno stripy sock cowl. If you can tag me in that as well, that would be helpful. And I am saving them as a highlight on my Instagram stories. Now, if you have used that hashtag, if you could pop in and double check that I've saved you as a highlight. I have one person who I can't save on my highlights because I'm guessing she's a private account and it's not working. If that's the case, I'm going to need to write that separately just for that one person. So I've noticed that one, but if there's any I've missed, could you just email me? I'm going to message the person in question and let her know that I have noticed that I can't save it. So that's on. They all need to be in and tagged by the 28th of February, and I will draw prizes for that on next week's podcast. That's so exciting. We are first one, so I'm really excited. So going into March dyers. So for March, for your extra entry, we've got Desert Vista Dyeworks, Fab Funky Fibres. I did not think that through when I put those two together. Knitting Goddess, who I think has just had a self-striping update. Austermann Step and Regia. So any of those would give you the extra entry. Remember, full-size adult socks please, 2 pairs of shorties, 2 pairs of children's socks, and a little collection of 4 baby socks. So I was going to show you the yarn that I was going to use for my ones, because I've got a this deep stash. I was very lucky to get some Desert Vista Dyeworks, so that's the one I've got. I saw this on the Crazy Sock Ladies podcast, and it's Somebody's Not in Kansas, and I loved this, and it's very much very Christmassy in my mind, so I think I'm going to make them and use them as Christmas socks. I'll see when it gets knit up. So that's the one I'm using, and I picked out some minis. Now I couldn't decide whether I wanted to use that mini with it or that mini with it, so I have decided I'm going to use both. So I'm going to do heels, toes and cuffs in these 2 minis with this as the main skein. So I'm really excited to cast that on. So yeah, then my March entry. Obviously I can't actually enter, but you know. And finally, for admin, I've got a huge thank you. Thank you so much for the people who've donated to my Ko-fi account. That has been absolutely fantastic, and the donations have paid for the last load of prizes to go out in postage, and that was the whole idea. So I'm really pleased about that. So thank you so much. It's just a shame postage costs are just astronomical. It's just silly. It's silly, absolutely silly now how much this postage is costing, but I'm guessing that's just the way things are at the moment. So I am very grateful. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to people who want to donate prizes. Please do get in touch if you'd like to donate a prize. Again, so grateful for that. And yeah, for the Ko-fi account, that's fantastic. Thank you. Right, should we see some knitting now? So day 1 is socks. And I have to say, I've abandoned my Opal socks. There's no way I can do the Rainbow Chronicle socks, which I am taking part in each month, which I can actually enter, the commercial yarn and the Dindy dyer. So at least for this week, this month, I've given up on my Opal socks. I do need to get back to them though, because, you know, they're Ian's, so, you know, I probably should get on with them. But I am using Woolly Goodness self-striping yarn. It's a bit of a tangle. I don't know why it's so tangled. So that's the colour I'm using. They're beautiful spring colours. My ball winder is, it just fails, doesn't it? But everybody else has pretty cakes. Mine just look a mess. One day I will get a really nice ball winder, but I kind of need my one that I've got now to dye first. Okay. That's tangled. We'll sort that out later. So I have last week when you... This is tangled too. Bear with me. My socks are misbehaving. So last week when you saw these, I had got to there. So just before the heel. I have now put the heel in and finished the foot. I have got one sock finished, which I'm so pleased about. Isn't that pretty? It's such a pretty colourway, this. Love it. Excuse my nail varnish. I did my nails this morning and then I had to do something before it was properly dry. I was gutted. But yeah, so that's so pretty. I love it. And I have got all the way down the leg of the second sock, all the way down the heel flap, and I have turned the heel. So I am well on the way to getting that one done as well. So this was yesterday. The next the next rotation for socks will be Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. Hold on, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Thursday, Wednesday. So I will just miss getting these finished, but not by much, and you know, I can't enter anyway. So if you do miss, you can still enter these in March. You just only get one entry, so it's not the end of the world. And that was the whole point behind this knit along, was so that you could use commercial yarn if you didn't have the indie dyed yarn. If you're lucky enough to have a stash of self-striping yarn, then this is a great way of doing it. And I didn't want anybody to feel that if they'd missed the end that they'd missed out. So even if you've missed the end of February, then you just get, you just get one entry rather than two. So at least you can still enter. That was my thoughts behind it, and yeah, I love them. So that's my socks for this week, and they're hanging out in my lovely elderflower stitches bag. Oh, and I should say it had beautiful apple green mini with it too. Really spring colours, and I love knitting those. I had great fun yesterday just sitting and knitting on my socks. So that's day 1, socks. Day 2 is shawl day or cowl day, or basically anything you wear around your neck. And I finished my heart and cowl, and I absolutely love it. It's beautiful and drapey. I have washed it and blocked it. This is finished, except for I haven't taken photos of it yet. So I need to take its FO photos, but I absolutely adore this. Now this was done from minis that my lovely friend Kelly of Lay Family Yarn put together for me as a present. And Kelly has such an eye for colour. This has just worked out. It's just so beautiful. As you can see, it's got this lovely lace detail, and then in between the lace it's 2 mini striped together. And they're just, I particularly love these 2 minis in the middle here, these 2 here, striped together, those 2. I just love how that's worked out. And then it goes, so it starts in this lovely pinks, and goes through peaches and greens, sort of green to blue and blue, oh, sort of blue, green to blue, yeah, and then kind of more green, darker green, and then darker blue into purples. And it's just, oh, I just love it, absolutely love it. I can see me wearing this quite a bit, and obviously you can wear it the other way around, so the pinks at the bottom and the purples at the top. I can double it over, but I'm not going to, otherwise I will completely wreck my hair. I've pretty much wrecked it anyway. But yeah, so I'm just going to stand up so you can see it standing up. It's just lovely. I'm so pleased with it. I have seen other people model this far better than I am. But yeah, it's so pretty. It's light and airy, and yeah, just gorgeous. I'm very, very, very pleased with this. So that's my FO. And as you can imagine, it took me a while to sew in all the ends. And it also took me a while to get it blocked and pinned out. So I proper blocked this on blocking mats with pins. This was not an air dry on the line. Occasionally I will cheat and put it on the washing line, but no, I properly, because I wanted to show the lace off, so I've properly blocked this. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. So thank you so much, Kelly, for the minis. I love it. And the pattern is the Heart and Cowl by Curious Handmade, who is Helen Stewart and was part of Knit Event 2020. But I think you can buy it as a standalone pattern now if you would like to. So yeah. So that's some progress. So far we've got one half finished object because we've got the sock done, and we've got a finished object which is the cowl. So yeah, just showing the knitting project is indeed working. It is funny though, because I do seem to have a spate of everything finishing at once, and this is one of those weeks. So yeah, that's the Heart and Cowl. Day 3 is garment day, and that's hanging out in my lovely bag from Elderflower Stitches, which I am keeping as a spring bag because it has snowdrops on it, even though technically it was for Christmas. And I am doing a DK Raglin jumper out of Elderflower Stitches DK Advent that I got last year. Now Susie's Advents are up at the moment on her website. If you email your interest, and you can pay in instalments as well. So if you want to do this next year, then it's up at the moment. And this is it. It's so lovely. So I was where that little sheepy is. So I knit down to there. I just need to do one more section, I think, on the sleeve, and the sleeve is then going to be long enough for me to start cinching it in and putting the rib on the bottom. And I love this so much. So that's the body. So I managed to get down the body too. And it's back on its needle, so it's all kind of, and I did that, oh, that sleeve as well. So that sleeve's got the little beach hut on it, which is from Corner of Craft. So that's marking progress there. I don't know if I marked progress on the body. Oh, I did. You've got a little lemon meringue pie there for the body progress. So what I'm doing is with the minis, which look like this, I am splitting them so that I've got 2 5s and 1 10, and I use 1 5 on each of the sleeves and the 10 on the body. And it seems to be working out really well. Now it'll be a method I use again, I know. And yeah, I absolutely adore this. I'm actually well ready for this to be finished now because I want to wear it. The time I finish it's going to be too warm, isn't it? But I love it. I wear strappy dresses in the summer, so if it's a chillier day I will definitely wear it anyway. It's getting to a nice length body wise now, so I'm confident that it's going to be at least hip length, if not a little bit longer. And if it's not long enough, I have got a full skein, which is this one here, which came with the Advent too, so I could use the full skein if I wanted to. It would be a bit odd, I think, because these colours are closer up the top, and it's going to fade into quite a grey, so it would suddenly jump from there to there, so I don't want to do that unless I absolutely have to. We will see. But yeah, I really like this. So yeah, this is a fun thing to do, and obviously you can do a jumper with an Advent, with a DK. I mean, you could probably do it with a fingering weight one as well, but you could certainly do it with a DK Advent, as long as you don't want it to be too oversized. This is quite fitted, and I mean, I love the boxy, the understated in particular, by Hopi Locatelli. I don't think there'd be enough yarn to make that, although if that was the case, I think I would be inclined, rather than to knit it as an Advent project, I would wait until I've opened them all and use the main skein first, and then do the minis after that point. And then I think you probably would have enough yarn, if I'm honest. But yeah, I love this. I'm enjoying working on it when it comes around to day 3, which is garment day. And it's fun seeing it all take shape. And as I said, her Advents are on her website at the moment. I don't know if they're on her website or whether you need to email her. I don't think they are on her website. Sorry, misspoke there. They're not on her website, but if you email her, if you watch her Advent vlog that she's just done, there's an email address where you can email her. So yeah, go and sign up if you would like to. So that's day 3, garment day. So day 4 is small items day, and I have another FO. I finished the hat. I love this hat. This is really fun. It's got a lovely pom-pom on the end, and it has got a home. Somebody has already asked if they could have it, so that is going to be winging its way to somebody later on during the year. She knows who she is. And if you read the comments from last week, you probably know who it is too. But yeah, perfect birthday present. So I just finished off with doing it as a vanilla hat in the end. So it's just a plain vanilla hat, but it's made out of Homespun House MCN and Rowan Kid Silk Haze. So it is so soft. It is absolutely, it's almost like you haven't got it in your hand. It's so soft. It's just a plain vanilla hat. I'm not going to try it on because I will wreck my hair. And yeah, that's another FO finished, and that's what I had left of the Homespun House. So I think there's about 10 grams there left over, which I will make up into minis and chat about at the end. But yeah, look at that. Bum bum. So that's going to be a birthday present for a dear friend, and that I just need to A, remember I knit it for her, B, remember where I put it when the time comes, and C, make sure I get it to her home time for her birthday, because I'm absolutely crap at doing that. So that is day 4, small items day. Day 5 is mystery blanket day. Now the mystery blanket is a kit that you can buy from Debbie Abrahams, and you purchase it the year before and then you get it the February the following year. So I purchased this year's one in July, I think, last year, and I got it February this year, and I haven't started that one. I haven't knit last year's either. This is 2019. I am notoriously bad for getting these done. I think I finished, what was it, 2009 or 2007, something like that, the other day, last year. I'm really bad at getting these finished, but I have I got the pictures, because it would make more sense if I have some pictures. I have finished the square you last saw me working on, which is where my little friend there is, my little penguin, and I managed to get back into pattern after my little hiccup in the middle, and as I said before, I leave my hiccup in the middle because then I know that's where I picked it back up again. And I have just started the square above, which is it's a cabled square, so it's very similar to that one but not the same. So it's kind of similar but not absolutely the same. And this is how this strip is looking. It's knitted in strips. Well, it's knitted in squares, to be fair, and then I join my square to the one below, so I pick up the stitches, and it's 7 by 7, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm on number 5 on this one, and this is the second one. I have odd ones of other ones where I had started doing it, because the way Debbie releases the squares, they aren't all released one after another. They are released sort of all over the blanket and then you join them together. But she does it so you can do it in strips. But this is this particular strip. This is number 2. So once I've got number 2 done, I will sew it onto number 1. Number 1 I have got done. This is all living in my Bags by Awesome Granny bag, which is the Swan Lake one. Are you the other? Yes. So this is a finished strip. Just to give you an idea, I think I showed you this last week as well, but so this is the finished strip number 1. I'm not following the order they were released in because I'm so far behind. I thought I might as well just do it strip by strip, and then eventually I can sew it all together as I go rather than at the end, and I feel like I'm making some progress with it. This blanket is called Winter Wonderland, and I absolutely adore it, and I really do need to get it finished. So at the rate I'm going, I may have 2 finished Christmas blankets by Christmas this year, which would be cool. That would definitely be cool. But yeah, so that's the Debbie Abrahams mystery blanket. I'm going to try and show you the picture of the square. That's the square I'm doing at the moment. So that's what hopefully it will look like when I get it done. I quite like the cable squares because they don't take very long. The colourwork squares are the ones that take a while. Well, actually I don't mind them. They don't take as long as the beaded ones. I'm not over keen on the beaded ones. They just take forever because you have to thread all the beads onto the yarn first. Some of them are hooked in, which actually is quicker and easier, but most of them you have to thread them all in order. And sometimes the instructions can be like 20 rows long of what you've got to do with these beads. So, and if you get one wrong, that's a problem. It throws the whole pattern out. So I have got occasionally, there'll be like a gap where there should be a bead and its corresponding bead is like at the back, or it's just not there because I've mucked it up. So I've kind of fudged it until I get to the next, like where it goes right again. But yeah. Not my favourite thing to do is beading. Right, so anyway, that's day 5, mystery blanket day. So day 6 is friendship blanket day, and that's living in my Sew Can Jo bag. And I am doing a giant granny square. You saw this last week. I haven't made a huge amount of progress on this, but I will just show you very quickly where I am. I haven't got that many minis left now to put into this, although we're talking about doing an Easter swap, and I'm thinking I might put those on here and then call it a day. Right, so we have got, that's where I have just joined in my current mini, and that's a little cream egg stitch marker from Hannah of Corner of Craft, which I've had for a couple of years, and this was the minis that I've added in. If we go like this, we might actually go round to where I started. I swapped friendship blanket and mystery blanket day this week because, why did I swap it? There was a reason. I have no idea why I swapped it. I swapped it for a reason. I mean, normally I only swap it if I'm going out in the car, and although we did go out for a little trip out this week to go and rescue someone, I didn't know that in advance, so that wouldn't have been the reason. So that's where I was. That's where my little stitch marker from Laura, who is Crafter's Mum and Bumbling Yarns, that's where that was. So that's what I did this week. I did the multicolour one, which is not much at all, is it? So obviously whichever day this was, I was indeed quite busy, but I don't know. Yeah, I didn't get far at all with this, did I? That was one mini. That's 2 minis, so I put 2 minis and I just got a tiny bit in. Bear with me, I'm just going to look up what day it was and what I was doing, because I'm intrigued now. Right, so I've just been looking it up. It was Tuesday, which was guide day, so I'm thinking I decided that I could do this on the guide Zoom and I couldn't do the mystery blanket on the guide Zoom, which actually was quite correct. I wouldn't have been able to do it. But actually, the reason I didn't get very much done on this was that was a very busy work day. So when I say very busy work day, it wasn't I would normally do it while I was working. It's because I didn't finish work till very late. I finished work just in time to do the guide Zoom. But these things happen occasionally, and that's what happened on Tuesday. So that's why I haven't got too much done on this. But yeah, that's my friendship blanket and day 6 and the last day of the rotation. Next up is my Christmas blanket, which is my entry for the square a day cowl. And that is hanging out in my seaside bag from Busy Pottering, and in turn my bag from Craft House Magic. And I have, since you last saw this, joined on my strip that I was doing. So you have that strip there at the top. I didn't realise how close in colour these two were when I was putting this together, but we're going to have a definite blue phase there, aren't we? That actually looks worse in camera than it does in real life. Whoops. And then, I mean, this side is definitely not anywhere near as matchy-matchy. So the idea with this is I'm doing a plainer one and a more variegated one, and then doing a more variegated one and a plainer one alternately, although that's possibly not what happened there. I kind of mucked that up, didn't I? But yeah, so that was that strip, and it is now attached. So I have now got this much width. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attached now. So it's 8 by 20 is my amounts at the moment. So I'm well in for my 90 squares check-in. Nearly at the following month's check-in too. And this is the little strip that I have started, which hasn't got any blue in it, for the next one. So I've got the gold, the variegated, and the gold again. The variegated is a homespun house, I think. Yep, it's it's called Aftershave. I'm guessing that's a nod to the presents that you get, because this was a Christmas set. And yeah, absolutely love it. Very pretty. It's interesting to see how these colours crochet up as opposed to knit up, isn't it? But yeah, so that's my Christmas blanket for my square a day. That's how the magic knot ball's looking. I'm going to do a something with this. It might be a habitation throw, it might be a corner to corner, I'll see. See how big it is by the end of this. Right, that's going to be my cue to bring this segment to a quick end, because my next door neighbour has his leaf blower on again, so bear with me. I'm going to put this lot away and then we'll move into Happy Mail. Okay, so next up is Happy Mail, and I have got just one thing to show you in the Happy Mail section, but something else as well. I'll explain. So the first thing is a club, and this is the Colours of 2021 club by Woolly Goodness Yarn. So if you've not had your February one yet, please look away. It's absolutely stunning, completely. Oh my goodness. Oh, I've got to work out what I'm going to do with these, because I'm really tempted to start a habitation throw. But I'm not allowed to because I've got too many whips. Oh, so frustrating. Right, so that's the card that came with it. And that's the little, this is so pretty, little progress keeper. I'm going to keep these in the box so that when I do something with these, I can actually use the progress keepers on the project. So you get 3 10-gram minis, I believe, with these. I think it's 3 10-gram minis. Let me just read it. Yeah. So you get 3 10-gram minis with this, and the March box is available from the 15th of March. Look. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'm holding this up. I am definitely going to start a habitation throw in this, because there's only 3 10-gram minis in here, and I've got January's box, so I might do that today. What day is it today? That's a good question. What day is it today? Shawl day. I might just cast these on and get this quickly done, and procrastinate for my shawl for next week. So yeah, this might be a little extra. Not sure where I'll put it in the rotation, but this might be a little extra while I get them done. So pretty. So yeah, I think that's going to have to happen. I think that might very well be a cast on today. Right, sorry, you can look back now if you've been looking away. The other thing I wanted to show you was, do you remember last week when I showed you the Sherry Iris box set? There was a full skein as well, which I hadn't opened. I thought you might like to see the full skein. So this is it. That's the beautiful artwork, if you remember. And it's just this lovely, so pretty. How lovely is that? It's just absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. The other thing I wanted to do is just let you know that Kelly, who is the dyer behind Lay Family Yarn, they are releasing their advents, which will be for tomorrow for you. It's the 1st of March, so go check out her Instagram. She has an Instagram, IG, television, TV notice about it all. Go listen to her, and that's happening on Monday, so I will be setting my alarm for that one. I would be really sad if I didn't get Kelly's advent. That would be awful. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you was, I can't remember if I showed you this or not, so if I did, I'm really sorry. But this is I know I've shown you my knitting journal. I've got a Lane one, a Lana magazine one. I've ended up with 2 because I lost one, and I actually do like it, but I wouldn't buy this one again because the layout of it to me is a little bit wasteful. So it's just my taste. I think I'd just buy a really nice hardbound notebook and do it myself in future. But so what I've done is, that's the front page. On my very first page, which is this one, I have got in and out. Now I've shamelessly stolen this from Sandra of the Cherry Heart podcast. These little balls all represent 10 grams, so it's what goes in against what goes out, and at the moment I have got more coming in than I have going out. But you know, so that's on that page. Now I was just going to show you Actually, what else have I got in here? So this stuff was started in 2020, but it has got projects from 2019 in it, and it has got projects from 2021, so it spans quite a period. What I'm going to try and do this year is I want to try and try different ribbings on my socks, different ribs on my socks. So I'm going to write down the ribs I'm trying here, and that's the next one I want to try, and I want to put them on the March Rainbow Chronicle socks. So yeah, I'm going to write them all down and just use them from time to time. That's the crenulated rib. So let's see if I've got, let's take you off. So let's have a look, see if I can find the heart and cowl. See where it is. Heart and cowl, there we are, page 61. I will show you the index in a minute. That's actually what I wanted to show you. So this is an idea of what it looks like. This is got, so this is a page that is just plain. So with this book, and this is why I find it a little bit wasteful, you have plain pages where you're supposed to write the information, and then just plain pages afterwards, which I guess if you're designing would be absolutely ideal, but I don't design, or at least I don't at the moment. So that's what I've got. I've just got the details at the top, little photo of the project. That's not its FO photo, but it's a photo. Excuse the cats, they were marking pages, but they were getting really tatty, so I decided, that's my Giddy yarn one, which is those mitts. Those mitts, they're socks, those mitts. I decided just to take them off, and I didn't want to throw them away, so I stuck them in. So last week I was playing with this, and I decided that I was going to do an index. So that's my index. So if you're new, I like journaling. I'm not an artist, as you can see by my truly appalling lettering at the top. I wish I'd done that in pencil now, but hey ho, it's in pen. And this is what I'm doing. So I've numbered all the pages. And so I've physically gone through, because they're not numbered, I've physically gone through and numbered all the pages. And if I can show you, I need to find some that are different colours. Right, so I went spectacularly wrong with the numbering there, so I'll put some washi tape over it. And this is the colours. So blue is for 2019, green is for 2020, and pink is for 2021, and other pages, so that's if there's other information, is a little orange square. So the idea is this square here at the beginning, so that's your page number, and then this square at the beginning is the colour that I started it in. So that's blue, so that was started in 2019, and it's a Habitations row in Lay Family yarn, and it was finished the 17th of the 12th 2019. No, that's when it was started. Apologies, it was started the 17th, 12th, 2019. Now it's coloured in green, which is 2020, so that means I finished it in 2020. So the squares down the side are the time I started it, and the colours that it's coloured in is when I finished it. And that's just how I felt like doing it. But it's quite useful, and I can look back quite quickly now and work out where, as you saw. And also things that aren't coloured in are works in progress or planned projects. So I've got the March Rainbow Chronicle socks on there, which I'd planned, and then other bits and pieces. I've got the mystery blankets gone in there, so that's got a started in 2019 colourway, all right, and that's the second page for it, so there's 2 pages for it. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. So this is the graph paper at the back, which I've just utilised, and I started numbering at the bottom one there and went backwards, so I used the ultimate amount of numbering, although obviously I didn't because I went wrong, but you know. That's the page for my hat. I'd used one of these cards, so I've just popped that in. And then there's a picture of me wearing the hat at the bottom there. Some yarn, that's from the pom-pom. and the details. So yeah, I'm enjoying putting that in. Oh, so just news from the knitting project. Okay, so first of all, you can't see it properly and I haven't finished it, but I have given this stall a coat of white paint. Now the bits that are hanging down, I haven't actually finished upholstering the top yet, which I've got to do this weekend. But there is some video footage, in fact there's a lot of video footage of me doing that, which I will release at some point as a snippet. Now snippets, if you're new to the knitting project, you have full episodes and you have snippets which are vloggy type episodes but are often about something specific. I think the first snippet was about me changing my project bags from normal project bags to Christmas project bags, so it's normally a little bit more condensed, so there'll be a snippet on me doing that stall. It's probably not going to have anything more than that in it, so if you're not interested you can just ignore that one. I want to do a craft room tour at some point, or Croffice tour as my craft room is called, which I might try and get done this weekend. I haven't got round to it yet. I truly haven't got round to it yet. And that also will be a snippet, but it'll be a bit of a longer snippet. So they can be short, they can be long. I'm thinking of maybe vlogging once we have got out of lockdown. If I do anything fun, I will try and vlog it. I'm hoping we'll get back to, we used to do something called Friday Adventures. If you're a long time viewer you will remember them, where we used to, in fact we toured around the coast of Kent, which was fantastic. It was so much fun and just had a picnic. So there are some good things that came out of lockdown, to be fair, and discovering our own local area was definitely one of them. Another one was I get to work from home permanently, so luckily I work facing that direction. So I haven't got that, and I'm not looking at that lot and just dreaming about yarn the whole time. That's another one. I've had a huge, much more of an appreciation of my garden. So I think, you know, trying to keep positive at the moment. Obviously we have a little bit of a light now at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to get out and see everybody again and be able to mix and mingle. Yeah, sorry about that. Other thing, I spoke a couple of podcasts ago about doing a de-stash, which I haven't done yet. I am in the process of winding many minis into little balls. Hold on, I shall see if I can grab them. That gives you an example of what they're like. So I am winding minis into little balls, so that's how you'll get them. And I'm going to put them in boxes. This is the 10 gram indie dyed section. You will get them in a little box, and I'm going to, I think, put them up as 100 grams of yarn per box. I'm not sure about this yet, whether it'll be 100 grams or 200 grams, so they'll be between sort of 20 to 30 pounds depending on what's in them. I'm also going to be doing some commercial ones as well, so there's like some, and they're actually quite cute, the little gobstopper balls from the commercial yarn. So there will be some commercial sock yarn as well. This is all fingering weight yarn at the moment. I haven't got any DK ones, although I have got a basket down there of DK weight yarn I could do it with, so I've stuck a pin in that for the minute. So obviously it will say whether it's commercial or whether it's indie dyed on the listing, and the price will be cheaper on the commercial. That is just a magic knot ball I'm making of all the leftovers. So much fun. I'm not too sure what to do with it. I've got so many magic knot ball now. I'll have to do a Helen blanket. If you would like to watch Helen of Giddy Yarns, Yarns and Giddy Yarns podcast, she's doing holding two together and crocheting them together into squares. It's such a fun blanket. So yeah, do go check Helen out. But yeah, I'm going to put them in old boxes and put them up for sale on Instagram. I've got an scr1tno de-stash account, so if you follow that, when and stick on a notification. You should find out when I do it. I was hoping it was going to go up this weekend. I think in reality it will be next weekend, because I have still got that whole box there that is full of yarn to the top, of either ones that I've wound or ones that I need to wind. So there is quite a lot to do. Just a little bit. So keep an eye out for that if you are interested in some of my leftovers. Actual personal life stuff. My quest to get fit and lose some weight is going very well. I have lost nearly half a stone, which since I started 2 weeks ago, I'm actually quite pleased about. And I'm working out every morning, but I was doing that anyway, so you know, that's not a huge change. I'm missing caffeine. Having 1 caffeine a morning, and then the rest of it's decaf. So I've had to give up my beloved Diet Pepsi, and I think of all of the things I've had to give up, that's probably the worst. I have got hold of some caffeine-free Diet Pepsi that actually doesn't taste too bad, so hopefully I can make the transition onto that without too much trouble, and then I can live on that instead. The plus side is I'm drinking a lot more water, so that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? The girls are all okay. They're all fine. I popped out earlier today before I recorded this to take some puzzles to Meg, because she works literally just around the corner from where we live in her old school, and the kids wanted to do some puzzles, so she rang me and went, "Mum, have you got any puzzles at home?" Yeah, I think so. So they've gone off to the local school. This upcoming week, the weekend, I want to get the rest of that stall upholstered. I want to get that done. I have got the tacks now to tack it in, so I need to do that. So I want to do that. We'll try and record it if I remember. And then I've got a wooden, let's just tip you that way for a minute. There, that. I've got a wooden chest of drawers that I want to paint white too. So I'm going to do it a drawer at a time, because I don't want to overwhelm myself with it. So I'm going to do it a drawer at a time, and I'm sanding it first and then priming it, and well, sanding it, washing it down, priming it, and then painting the top coats on. That had 2 top coats, I think. It may not have needed it, but it did have 2. I'm really enjoying it actually, but I have Gaynor to thank from the Tales of Cuckoo Land podcast for pointing me in the right direction and telling me what to do. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Gaynor, for that. I'm really looking forward to changing that white now. So eventually all the furniture in here will be white, and the walls will be a pale blue, because that's my favourite kind of combination of colours, except for this. Right, I think that's it from me. I have got some vloggy bits at the end. I have a lot of spring flowers coming up. My cherry tree is in blossom. It's a beautiful sunny day here, so it's so nice. Just the thought that we'll be able to sit back out in the garden soon. I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope you're all okay wherever you are. Take care. I'll see you next week.